Hey, Scapegoat. You're actually here tonight. Hey, Dinner Predator. You missed me? Sometimes I miss me too, Scapegoat. Sometimes. Not often, mind you. What did I say in the last couple lives? I don't know. I don't remember. You think I pay attention to myself, Scapegoat? I think last night we did talk about Canadian restaurants, Canadian fast food places. We talked a little bit about Canada and generally difference between Canada and the US. And we did also talk a little bit about Canadian fast food. Vanna let us know that you were okay. What do you call round ham bacon? Oh. I don't know. Why not? Because, I don't know. I don't know why things are called things. Wouldn't call it that here in the South. I wouldn't go to the South. I mean, probably wouldn't anyway. I don't think there's really a whole lot that interests me in the southern US. Hey, Vanna. Anyway. Not just near holes. Indeed. I'm not big on holes. I'm not much for holes. Yeah, Anunnaki. I have not seen Cannibal Holocaust. What's the opposite of a hole? Um, hmm, I guess it'd be like something that's full. Opposite of a hole would be like something that doesn't have a hole. Like they want to kill off the cannibals. Yeah, I probably should. Fell asleep watching Cannibal Holocaust. It was a boring movie. You're right, Scapegoat. What did the cannibals ever do? Fan is blowing in my eyes, and I blinked like 4,000 times in the past 2 hours. Luckily, it is cool enough that I don't need my fan anymore. Michael Rockefeller. Not that I'm aware of. I'm fat, so I bring my fan to the movies and have it on 24/7. Fair enough. Gotta do what you gotta do. Still in the 70s and 80s. Yeah. That's why I don't want to go to Alabama, Donor Predator. Too dang hot. I don't like the heat. I like to feel cool, not hot. Dinner meat. Yeah, you do that well. Used his wealth to adventure and infiltrate a non-industrial culture. Sounds shitty of him. I mean, not so much the adventuring, but infiltrating a culture, infiltrating the group. Indigenous, I suppose, would be the term, but infiltrating an indigenous culture, just like Columbus. I mean, Columbus didn't so much infiltrate as he just massacred, enslaved. Fuck Christopher Columbus. Columbus was a terrible, terrible person who found Canada. Your mom. I'm sorry. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure who the first European to reach Canada. Well, I mean, actually, uh, Vikings. Vikings lived in. That reminds me. I keep meaning to send Chantel some more funny photos, not more funny images. I keep downloading funny images I see online, and with the intent of, or I keep saving. I keep saving funny pictures I see online with the intent of sending them to Chantel, and then I keep forgetting to send them. Yeah. Anyway, the first Europeans to arrive in Canada were Vikings. There were a couple of Viking settlements in Newfoundland several hundred years before Columbus and his ilk. I read a book about them. The book was long and honestly mostly kind of dull. I like history. I do enjoy history. It's interesting. I want more books on history. Jacques Cartier and Samuel de Chapman officially found Canada, but Vikings were there before them. Exactly, done it. Can't retain it. I mean, I also retain very little. I read the shit. I don't necessarily remember much about it. Was Canada ever Mexico? No. No part of Canada was ever part of Mexico that I'm aware of. To the best of my knowledge, no part of Canada was ever a part of Mexico. There is a fairly sizable uh, distance between Canada and Mexico. Anywho's, as always, I remain tired. They don't have any of the same letters either. That's true. C. They both have a C in them. Mexico has it right near the end. Canada has it right at the start. Both countries do have names that are 6 letters long. I don't know if that means anything. I'm guessing not. One's capital and the other one's small. Not if you're writing in all caps. You ever consider that scapegoat? If you're writing in all caps? Mm, I like all lowercase. Personally, I tend to use proper capitalization. Makes one seem aloof. Sure thing there, E. E. Cummings. E. E. Cummings was a poet who famously he wrote his name lowercase. All lowercase. A day without laughter is a day wasted. E. E. Cummings. So I see you know more about E. E. Cummings than I do. Fair enough. A day without coming is a day wasted. D. Laughters. Yeah. D. Yeah. Double D. Mexico never owned any of Canada, but is one of their biggest two-way trade partners. Yep. Yeah, we do have a good relationship with Mexico. We have a good relationship with Mexico because both of us are constantly looking at the US and going, these fucking guys, eh? These fucking guys, eh? So, pretty sure I'm not getting any turkey this year. A shame, but oh well. Not a big deal. I was never into Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was never my thing. Hate cranberry sauce. Same here. I don't like cranberry sauce either. I don't do cranberry sauce. I like Linger and Dreams. Do you have to let it linger? That's on Freakazoid. I never watched that show as a kid. Great theme song. Has a great theme song. And I do love that clip where he yells at a dude for for making things weird. Like, we're all here just having a good time. You had to ruin it. Why don't you just go get the cup of coffee? I don't remember the actual the full quote or anything like that, but that clip is really good. The Tick. I did watch The Tick when I was a kid. I did love The Tick as a kid. Spoon. Great show. Real Monsters. Again, I never watched that one. I imagine I probably saw the theme song at some point, but I don't remember it. Didn't stick with me. I was watching it the other night, not because I wanted to or anything. Of course not, Scapegoat. Teacher tells the students to pull out their sacks. Yeah. Yeah. They did some obscene exercise and he said, and swallow. I'm still making my way through Star Trek Enterprise now. I'm on season 2 of Star Trek Enterprise. I am looking forward to finishing my rewatch of the Star Trek franchise so that I can move on and watch something that's not Star Trek. At least until I feel like doing another. At least until I feel like doing another rewatch of the entire Star Trek franchise. The second one. No, Enterprise was the 5th Star Trek series. There's Star Trek, the original series. Actually, Star Trek, the original series, then Star Trek, the animated series, then Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, then Enterprise, which was sort of the end of the franchise for a while, like the end of at least there were still books and shit like that, but the end of the franchise in terms of like TV and everything for a good few years. You know, a few years after that ended, J.J. Abrams did his fucking atrocity. And then a few years after that, we started getting actual Star Trek shit again with Discovery. That makes me curious. What was the time frame between? Why do you do that? Why do you do that, browser? So yeah, Star Trek Enterprise ended May 2009 or 2005. Sorry, never knew Whoopi was on board. Yep, she was a recurring. She was a recurring guest star on the Next Generation. So yeah, 2005 that Enterprise ended, and then Discovery launched in 2017. So 12 years. So yeah, Enterprise ended 2005. That horrific J.J. Abrams movie was 2009, followed by its equally shitty sequel in 2013. And then the actually pretty decent Beyond in 2016. That one was actually pretty decent because fucking J.J. Abrams wasn't involved with it anymore. I mean, he was still a producer, but didn't write it, didn't direct it. He let people who actually gave a shit about the franchise work on it instead. Fucking hate J.J. Abrams working on Star Trek. Guy admitted that he didn't understand the franchise. Who's the female changeling? I don't remember her name. Like, I don't remember the actor's name. The character is literally just the female changeling. Like, literally, that's what the character was called. Was just the female changeling. Um, Salome Jens played the character. They list that as the name, what she turned into. I mean, she was a changeling. She could change into whatever she wanted to change into. I feel like J.J. Abrams is one of those filmmakers who always desperately needs someone telling him, no. Like, needs to have someone with him saying, that's a stupid idea. Don't do that. The fuck is wrong with you? Hey, no, man. You know, like George Lucas. Back when he was making the original Star Wars movies, you know, he had people with it. He had people there to tell him when an idea was just really fucking bad. They should have told him that when he decided to go by JJ. Maybe. Like, a big part of why the prequels. Hey, pal. So, so yeah, in recent years, it has become much more common knowledge what a shitty person Christopher Columbus was. It's cool for JJ. JJ's different. Fair enough, scapegoat. Fair enough. Yeah. It's become like people have become more aware of what a shitheel Christopher Columbus was. So instead of Columbus Day, people instead honor the Indigenous people who were raped, massacred, and enslaved by that asshole, and you know, by the other Europeans who followed him. So instead of Columbus, so instead of honoring uh, a genocidal sack of shit like Christopher Columbus, people instead honor Indigenous people, the victims of what he did. Be fair, most people were terrible back then. Thing is, Christopher Columbus was bad even by the standards of the time. Even for the time, Christopher Columbus was considered especially shitty. Also, a downright terrible explorer. It must be noted that Christopher Columbus was actually a bad explorer. He got incredibly lucky, but he grossly underestimated the size of the planet, despite the fact that people had known how large the planet is for 1,000 years before he was even born. Like, Columbus is like, oh no, it's not that big. Oh no, it's like half that size. Like, he thought the planet was like half the size it actually is, despite the fact that, like, actually, that people much more intelligent than he had already estimated the size of the Earth almost precisely. So he set off like, oh no, I'll be able to reach India, no problem. It's not a problem. I'll reach India in plenty of time. While everyone else was like, everyone else was like, dude, you're not going to reach India. You're going to starve out there. You'll run out of supplies long before you reach India. Like he tried a bunch of like he tried several like before the king and queen of Spain agreed to fund his expedition. He tried a few other people. Yeah, he tried a few other places to get funding, and like everyone was like, "No, you will starve to death because the planet is bigger than you believe it is, than you think it is." And yeah, he got incredibly lucky that there actually happened to be a continent in between Europe and Asia. Like he got so incredibly fucking lucky that North America happened to be there. Because otherwise, yeah, he would have starved to death. Lucky for him, he did find land where he then proceeded to rape, pillage, plunder, and kill to such an extreme extent, to such a great extent that he was brought back to Spain in chains. Where else would North America have been? I'm just saying. He had no idea it was there. Shit, he thought he landed. He When he landed, he thought he'd reached India. What happened to him after that? What did happen to him after he was dragged back? Blah blah blah. Oh, you miss booty. Same. Looks like he basically just. Looks like he basically kind of died. Not necessarily in disgrace, but she never came back like she said she would. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if she does. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, at least for a. Hopefully, at least for a visit at some point. Hopefully, she'll be able to come back for a visit at some point. She never came back. Oh, in chat. Yeah, she abandoned us. How dare she? Honestly, I suspected that. I suspected that she probably wouldn't come back to the chat. Like when she said she was going to be back, I suspected that she was probably going to be gone for the night. You feeling okay? I mean, as okay as I ever get. He died. And good riddance to him. Rest in piss, Columbus. Rest in piss. Anywho's. I was thinking earlier about Class of '09. Class of '09 billed itself as like a rejection sim. It's the anti-dating sim. I'm like, it's not. It's just, it's a fairly standard visual novel, just with a particularly dark sense of humor. And I was thinking that, like, an actual rejection sim would probably be kind of fun. Like take dating sim mechanics, but then flip them on their head so that it's like rather than a bunch of you know rather than a bunch of dudes that you're trying to decide which one to date. Rather than building up relationships with them and trying to find your way to their heart. You're like trying to break their hearts. An actual anti-dating sim would probably be kind of a fun idea. I think. Not entirely sure how one would do it, but it is something where I would actually like to see that. I would like to try an actual rejection sim anti-dating game. Don't take it personally, I just don't like you. I mean, not quite. I am looking forward to reminds me, do we have wanted to see if the doesn't look like there is a not seeing a release date for the remainder of that game. And that was like a month or so ago. I got a notification about the remaining routes, but don't remember the time frame. Don't remember if it had a release date, and it doesn't show anything on the Steam page. We do have a release date for the game Date Everything. Fittingly, Valentine's Day. February 14th, 2025, so Valentine's Day. The bizarre looking Date Everything. Seems likely that I will be working that day, unless my shift changes. Yeah, I really like. We're gonna do it. Hurrah, Scapegoat! Good on you. Enjoy the doing of it. Thoughts on Valentine's Day? I have no particular feelings toward. I have no particular feelings on it one way or the other. I never really have. Nothing against it. Just yeah. No opinion. Because I'm not a particularly. I'm just not a particularly romantic person. So what do I care about Valentine's Day? But I'm not going to begrudge the people who do enjoy it. Describing him to a friend, and she thought I was talking. And she got concerned for you. I was changing the subject. I'll leave back to me. They really shouldn't. Anyway, I'm getting pretty hungry, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here for tonight. Gonna go make myself my supper. I will probably be visiting my mom on Wednesday, so I'm not sure what time I'll be on. Probably fairly late in the evening, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I would expect like at 9 or 10 o'clock that I'll be on Wednesday. So, good night, everybody.